So in our previous section, we had created an application specifically meant for users within an organization. So what if you want to create an application meant for everyone? That is, anybody who has access to a social media account like Facebook or Google would want to use your app. Now to create an application like that, what you need to use is the Azure Active Directory B2C. Now, Azure Active Directory B2C provides a cloud-based identity and access management solution for applications that require social media IDs as well as Active Directory IDs. So let's see how we can implement a solution that uses Active Directory B2C. So I'll see you in the next section. So to create a B2C application, the first thing that you need to do is create a tenant, a B2C tenant. To do that, you can click on Manage Tenants. You can click on Create. And here we need to create a B2C tenant. So you can just choose the second option, go to Next. So let's give a name here. And you need to give a resource group within which your application will be contained. So I'll just give a random, or I'll create a new resource group. I'll just call this as VLC. Click on OK. And let's click on Review and Create. So you'll get an error like this. Now, to resolve this particular error, you have to go to your subscriptions, open your active subscription. You can open your resource provider. And what you can do is you can just get this registered. So I will just click on register here. Now to get more information about these resource providers, I will send you a link in the description below so you can just check that out. And once you have your Microsoft Azure Active Directory registered, let's go back to our Active Directory and let's create a tenant again. So let's go to our Manage Tenant, click on Create, click on Next. And let's click on Review and Create. Let's click on Create. Okay, so we've created a tenant. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to switch to this particular tenant. So I'll just click on this and I will just click on Switch. And here, what you see here is basically the Azure Active Directory B2C. So here what we need to do is we need to create our application. So again, let's click on application registration, a new registration. And here, let's just give a name for our application. So I'll just call this as B2C application. So now this particular application that we'll create is not specific to our particular tenant or organization. This is for public at large. So that is one thing that you need to make sure of. So you should always choose the third one. So let's click on register. Okay, so now that you've created your application, the next thing that you need to do is you need to create a user flow. So you can go to your user flow. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new user flow. And this particular user flow is just to sign up and sign into our application. Now, for this particular demonstration, I will not use any external identity provider like Google or Facebook. It is just going to be the default Azure Active Directory users. So let's click on create here. So you need to give a name for your flow. So I'll just call this as default flow. And here I'm just going to use the local account, that is the Azure Active Directory. So I don't have much choice because I've not registered any of the external identity providers. Now that's something that I'll do in a later course. And so I've disabled multi-factor authorization and the type of authentication is going to be via email. So let's click on create here. Okay, so now that you've created your user flow, the next thing that we'll do is we'll create a few users. So I'll go back to my main page here and let's add a few users. So I'll just click on users here. So what I'll do here is I'll just create a Azure Active Directory B2C user, email. So I will just choose a email ID. So let's choose my email and I'll click on create. Okay, so now that you've created your application in Azure Active Directory B2C and you've created your workflow, the next thing that we need to do is we need to download the boilerplate code. So the boilerplate code is in this particular GitHub repository. So the path to this particular GitHub I will give you in the description below. So all that you need to do is you just need to clone this particular GitHub repo. And this is specifically for JavaScript. Now for other languages, you can just go to your Azure samples and get the same. So I have loaded my piece of code in my local directory. So the next thing, the first thing I need to do is I need to go to my auth config and I need to change the client ID here. So let me just remove this and let's populate this with the client ID that we have. I go to my users again and I'll just copy this. So I'll go to this app and everything else remains the same. So once you've done with your auth config, the next place where you want to go is the policies.js. So here what you need to do is you need to change the authority and the sign-in authority and the edit profile authority as well as the authority domain. So to get these information, you go back to your page again, click on endpoints. So you can just copy this particular path and just paste it here. And this particular suffix represents your user flow. So let's just remove this and replace it with the user flow. And also this particular domain should also be the same. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it here. So again, this is just the tenant endpoint and nothing more than that. And it's going to be prefixed, or should I say suffixed by the user flow ID. So I go back to my user flow and I'll just copy this and I'll paste it here. So currently the edit profile, I will just leave it as it is. I do not want to have an edit profile. I just want to have a login and a sign in profile. So again, I'll just copy this and paste it here as well. And I'll leave this as default. I'll just have a placeholder. And apart from that, if you go to the auth config again, and one last thing you need to do is you need to configure the redirect URI. Now this particular application will run on this particular port. So let's also configure this redirect URI. I'll just copy this. I'll go back to my B2C application. I'll click on my authentication here. And here what I need to do is I need to add a platform. So it will be a single page application. And I'll just paste this particular URL and I'll click on create configure. Okay, so we're done with all the settings. Now we can run our application. So what I'll do is I'll run this terminal. I'll do an npm install. And let's do an npm start to run the application. Okay, it's listening at port 6420. So let's open our localhost at 6420. So I've opened my localhost at 6420. Let's click on sign in. And here I'll try to log in using the user ID that I just created. And here you can see that I'm not connected to any external identity provider. So this is just my Active Directory that I'm going to use currently. I click on sign in. And you can see that I have been logged in. Now, if you're creating an application for customers, you would also want to connect your application with external identity providers like Gmail, Facebook, etc. Now, that's something that we'll see in the next chapter. So I'll see you there. Okay, so in our previous chapter, we created a B2C application. However, this B2C application is only connected to our Active Directory and not to any external identity provider. So if you go check out applications on the internet, you'll see that the login redirects not just to their local directory, but also to other identity providers like Google and Facebook. So let's add an identity provider to our application as well. So what we'll do is we'll add the Google identity provider. Now to do that, you can go to your Azure AD B2C. You can click on identity providers. And what we're going to add is basically the Google identity provider. So you can just click on this. And here what you need to add is basically the name, the client ID, and the client secret. So how do you get these values? So to do that, you can just click on this particular page, and this will tell you all the details on how you can add these values. So let's click on this. So if you browse through this page, it'll ask you to sign in to this particular Google Developer Console. So this is basically the GCP console, that is the Google Cloud Console. And all that you need to do is you need to create a credentials. And within this credentials, you need to add these values. So let's do that. So I'm in my GCP account now. I need to go to credentials. Now, of course, if you have any issues with this particular flow, you can always get in touch with me. I'll be glad to help you out. So what you need to do is you need to create a So the first thing that you need to do is you need to create a consent screen, and this consent screen should have this URL as the authorized domain. So I'll just copy this. So if you go back to our GCP page, click on the OAuth consent screen. So here, let me give a name for my particular consent screen. I'll just call this as my Azure B2C app, and I can just give a user support email. So this is fine for me. And what you need to do is the authorized domain you need to change, and you need to add this particular authorized domain. And you also need to add a developer contact information. So this is also the same ID as before. So again, like I said before, the only thing you need to add here extra is the authorized domain. And this authorized domain would be the b2clogin.com. So I'll click on save and continue. And let's click on save and continue here again. Okay, so we've created our OAuth consent screen. So the next thing we need to do is we need to go to credentials, and you need to create credentials and click on OAuth client ID. So this has to be a web application. And here the important thing is you need to add these two values. So that is the authorized JavaScript origin and the authorized redirect URI. So I'll click on the add URI here. Let's go back to our page here. And it mentions here that for authorized JavaScript origin, you can either enter this particular domain, or if you're using a custom domain, you can enter this particular custom domain. Okay, so for this particular tenant, we don't have any custom domain. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this, and let's go back and paste it in and here I need to change your tenant name, and I'll paste it here. Okay, so this is done. The next thing you need to do is you need to add the authorized redirect URI. So let's go back to our documentation again. And here for the authorized redirect, you just need to copy this, and let's paste it here. And here I need to change the tenant name here as well. So I'll just copy this again, and let's paste it here as well as here. Yeah, so this looks fine. So I will click on create. So this will give me a client ID and a client secret. So what I need to do is I just need to copy this and paste it there. So I go back to my Azure Activity, click on the application, identity providers, Google. So I'll just call this as Google, and the client ID, I'll just paste it here as well as the secret. Let me copy the secret and let's paste it here, and let's save this. Okay, so once that is done, you're done with the configuration. So the only thing that you need to do now is you need to go to your user flows and add Google. So I'm in my user flows. So we've already created a user flow in our previous chapter. So you can just refer to that, open this, and Under the identity providers, you'll get a drop down with Google. So you can click on this and save. Now let's run this particular user flow. So I go back to my Google account and I click on sign in. And now you can see Google here. So you can just open this. Let's try to open using any of the Gmail accounts. So I'll use this particular account and it gives an error like this. So now that is because I had made a mistake while configuring my account. So if I go back to my Google account and under the OAuth consent screen, what I had made this was internal. So only internal users within the organization can access this app. So what I need to do is I need to make this as external. So I'll just make external here and it's only for testing. So I'll just click on testing here and I'll click on confirm. Okay, so let's try to log in again. Let's click on sign in again. And now you can see that I was able to log in using my Google account. So that is how you can use your external identity provider to log into this particular application. So I hope this was a useful lecture. So if you have any issues, like I mentioned earlier, please do not hesitate to get in touch with me. This might get a little complex. So if you have any issues, please always get in touch with me. Yeah. So I'll see you in the next chapter.